The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Gilas went out with a bang after finally getting that elusive win in their final FIBA World Cup game against China, 96-75. This is Gilas' first FIBA World Cup win in almost a decade. Now, while this game essentially had no bearing in the cup, cheers erupted both in the Smart Araneta Coliseum and online as the Philippines finally got over its back-to-back heartbreak losses. For Gilas head coach Chot Reyes, this win is their way of thanking fans for their support. He said this may be his last coaching stint for Gilas after the backlash he got over the series of losses.
Sa akin yung booing before the games, okay lang rin. But they don't realize the effects of players. They get demoralized as well.
We didn't want our hosting to end without gifting the Filipino people with a victory. Look at them. It's storming outside, typhoon, bumabagyo. We're basically playing for nothing, but they still came out. So we just owe this to the Filipino people.
Now, the man of the night was no doubt Jordan Clarkson, scoring a total of 34 points, 24 of which were in the third quarter. This explosion fueled the national team's lead after the tight game in the first half. The team's chemistry was undeniable, with the rest of the players also scoring left and right. Renza Bando had 14 points and 5 rebounds, while big man Kai shot 12 points with 6 rebounds. Birthday boy Dwight Ramos also finished with 11 points for Gilas.
Coming out here is just showing our heart, our respect, and our love for the country. They didn't give up on us, we didn't give up on them, so we just came out here, had fun, and really wanted to get a win.
Celebrities and politicians also showed up to support Gilas. The national team's final FIBA match was a star-studded event with celebrities cheering from the courtside. Now, among those present were basketball enthusiasts Gerald Anderson, brothers Rod June and Raver Cruz, face-to-face host Carla Estrada, actress Beauty Gonzalez, celebrity couple Carlo Aquino and Charlie Dizon, and Yasi Pressman with her rumored boyfriend Camarines Sur Governor Luigi Villafuerte. Now, of course, volleyball star and Dwight Ramos' girlfriend Kiana D was also there to support the team. It was really a happy birthday for Gilas guard Dwight Ramos, who turned 25 with a national team victory to cap it off. The Gilas men were all smiles for the first time in a while posing for pictures inside the locker room. Now, senators were also in attendance. Cheering from the sidelines were Senate President Migs Zubiri, Senators Joel Villanueva, Bongo, and Bato de la Rosa, who wore West Philippine Sea on their t-shirts. West Philippine Sea also trended on X, formerly Twitter, as Gilas finally clinched a win in the World Cup. The FIBA World Cup continues with 4 games here in the country. Italy will clash with Puerto Rico at 4 p.m. at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, followed by the match between the Dominican Republic and Serbia at 8 in the evening. Meanwhile, Greece and Montenegro will battle it out over at the Mall of Asia Arena at 4:40 p.m., followed by Team USA versus Lithuania at 8:40 p.m. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. A public-private partnership beyond infrastructure and into education will help address the upskilling needed to improve the quality of jobs in the Philippines. That's according to Private Sector Advisory Council member Riza Mantaring, who spoke recently on Thought Leaders with Cathy Yan. Let's watch this.
What we really want to focus on, aside from generating more jobs, is how do we generate jobs that are higher up the value chain? Because the BPO industry, for one, is under threat at the moment from AI because of all these developments of generative AI, and some of the developments are really amazing and they're very well aware of it. And they're trying to see how to upskill their personnel. So that's going to be a big thrust moving forward. How do we upskill our workforce? And countries are spending huge amounts on this. Singapore has a voucher system where everybody has a voucher for you to be able to enroll and upskill at the government expense. India formed the Skills Corporation, National Skills Corporation, whose aim is to upskill. They want India to be the skills capital of the world. And 15 million people have already gone through the training provided by that. Where are we, right? So that's one of the things that we brought to the attention of the president, and fortunately, one of the things we're happy about is he's been very receptive to it. So we're right now in the process of trying to figure out what mechanisms do we need to put in place to upskill our workforce.
So where does it start? If we're asking that question now, what are the mechanisms? Do we start with the private sector? Do we do it with government? How?
I think it's got to be a public-private partnership. PPPs, when people think of PPPs, they always think of infrastructure. But there are other forms of PPP, and this is one. Partnering on education and skills development and upskilling. So we have, I think government has acknowledged that knowing what skills are required is really it's the private sector that knows that, right? The people who can do the training are with the private sector. So how do we harness all of that? So we put together a mechanism to harness that so that there's a structured way of going through what are the skills needed. The various industries, perhaps we form skills councils that can determine these are the skills we need, these are the training requirements, this is how we can do it. And then we work with government for certification, for ensuring that the training is of the standard that's required. We bring in TESDA, DTI. So we've been working with all the various government departments and agencies precisely on that. And then, of course, there's investments. You need to generate, when it comes to job generation, we need to bring in investments into the country.
Now catch the full interview on Thought Leaders with Cathy Yang on Tuesday, September 5 at 3:30 in the afternoon here on One News. Let's now take a quick look on other stories we're watching. The Trade Department assures the public that the price cap on rice is only a temporary measure. The DTI is also ramping up its crackdown on rice hoarders with the help of price monitors. The price ceiling on rice will take effect on September 5. The rider involved in the August 30 road rage incident in Makati City is now under police custody. The rider, identified as Angelito Rencio, was found to be in possession of several identification cards from the AFP, PNP, and the media, all of which are suspected to be fake. He also allegedly has an existing warrant of arrest for qualified theft. Meanwhile, Typhoon Hana intensifies slightly as it moves away from Luzon and towards Taiwan. The typhoon is seen to exit Par by tonight, while the enhanced habagat continues to bring rains over western Luzon and Antique. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.